All right, all right, all right. Welcome to the Tuesday night principled Chiro broadcast from DE and Band of Brothers. I'm Dr. Brian Moriarty, your esteemed MC for tonight's exciting call with Dr. Dawn Maynard. Can't wait to hear her. But before that, guys, we got DE upon us here. DE is coming. What do we got? Like 3 weeks? I think it's about 3 weeks away till DE. What are we're around the April 1st? Yeah, like 3 weeks from Thursday. Let's get that DE graphic up there, Kat, for our DE meetings there. We obviously have Sarasota coming up April 21st to the 24th. There we go. There. That's 3 weeks away. Last one at Sarasota, the Sarasota Farewell. You don't want to miss that one, guys. Then we're back to Atlanta, back to back in August and October. And then January starts our Clearwater adventure right outside of Tampa. That'll be great. Register at lifede.com. We'd love to have you there. Thank you, Dan, too. I do look handsome. Appreciate that. Anyway, it's going to be a great DE. We got some confirmed speakers. The schedule should be out tomorrow, Kat just told me, but confirmed speakers we have Dr. Steve Judson, Dr. Brian Lieberman, Dr. Ed Cordero, Dr. Walter Sanchez. We've got Dr. Paula Hedgelon is on. I wasn't expecting her to be there, but Dr. Paula Hedgelon is on our schedule. So that's exciting to have Paula back. Didn't want her to miss. I'll be there. Who else we got? Dr. Eddie Martinez. We got a good crew of people coming. Should be Dr. D. Umber will be there and speaking. So those are just a few of the many names. The cat's scrolling something down there. The room block is sold out. She's working on an overflow hotel. Get on the wait list if you haven't gotten your room yet, or just book another hotel, or, get a VRBO or something like that. But I have room on my floor. So if you need to stay on the floor, just come crash on my floor. My wife is in the room, though, so she probably wouldn't like that. But regardless, we'll keep it rolling. So anyway, guys, we're excited for DE, 3 weeks away. Make your plans. There's still time to get there. And if you're going to be there, we can't wait to see you. For tonight's call, we've got a 2007 graduate of Life University. This young up-and-comer is just catching fire in the chiropractic world. I always love hearing her. From Charleston, South Carolina. Give it up for Dr. Dawn Maynard. Thank you for doing this, Dawn. Love and appreciate you.
Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday night. And yeah, 3 weeks until the next DE. I always think that these last few Tuesday night calls before DE are huge, because it really our tank starts getting lower and lower, and we kind of need to feel that DE love again. So I'm super honored to be able to be on the schedule for one of these later calls. So I hope everybody's having a great night and had a wonderful day at the office and in practice. We are just loving everything going on down here right now. And just beautiful weather and lots of great opportunities. Just had the great opportunity to spend a little bit of time with the twos this past weekend. So we got to have some DE love and family time, which is great, because, I tell you, DE is totally my family. And even if we don't get to spend too much time with everybody in between, I think that's the most important part about DE. When I first came, I just really was kind of clueless, a little wayward, a little frightened, and didn't really have much of an anchor at all, other than that I loved chiropractic. And so I will forever be grateful to DE for just providing that anchor and providing so many people that I love so much, and who love me. So that's my homage and gratitude to DE. Um, I need to shout out to Jenna Quinton. She is amazing. I know that many of you have seen her at DE and seen her working with Adjust Your Media. She is such a servant, and I'm so grateful for her. She has been my social media coach now for, I don't know, like the better part of a year, maybe right at 8 months or something like that. But gosh, she's just amazing. She keeps me on point. Sometimes I think she knows more about chiropractic than I do. She certainly takes the blinders off when you start getting tunnel vision, in terms of how to communicate what we do to people. So I just wanted to send her some love, because she's really made an impact on me in my office in the past little bit. Just recently, I've had kind of a chaotic go of it in the past, I guess, month and a half or so, maybe last month. And I sent her an email and said, I'm so sorry, I can't find the email you sent. Did I miss it? And she said, no, I've been crazy. And so it's coming out. It's a little bit later. But so I just, seriously, we have such an incredible community and so many resources at DE that I think we're so incredibly lucky to have so many different ways to reach people, to love people, to serve people. And I'm just real grateful for that. Part of the reason why I've been kind of crazy is because my cute, sweet, adorable, beautiful CA of almost 2 years had to move on to her next opportunity. She moved out of town. She's in Savannah now. And so I would be lying if I told you the day she told me that I wanted to cry just a little bit. So she put in her notice, and for about 5 minutes, I just sat in a state of reaction and self-preservation and kind of just, almost fearful. And I went back to my office and I sat down at the desk and I got an empty legal pad and I just started writing all the things that I want in a new CA. I mean, like that. I did it that fast. Wrote down all the things I wanted in a new CA and how I could be enhanced, how I could be a better servant through this person. And within 10 minutes, my whole day just turned around. And I absolutely can only attest that, or only give credit to DE for that, because I think so many people do just kind of get sucked into that victim funnel. And you just can't do that if you're an action-oriented person. It completely changed my whole perspective of the whole thing. So I did. I had to go and put in an ad for a new CA. I'd had to decide what kind of things I wanted, and what I was gonna, offer them and all of that. I went through the interview process, which I've never done before. My last CA, God just dropped into my practice. And so I should say my first CA, because she was also my last. But so all of that was just kind of dropped into my practice. And so this time I had to actually, give it good thought. And I reached out to so many of you and just kind of got that focus back. But for 3 weeks or so, my brain was kind of scattered to the winds. I was really working on also just kind of doing some things, changing some systems in the office and kind of mainstreaming a lot of things too that I thought I was going to have help for. And I ended up doing it on my own. which is incredibly beneficial too, obviously. But it was really 3-4 weeks of just me really being focused on the parts and pieces of my practice, and I was probably not as focused on the purpose and the principle of my practice as I should have been. Nobody is 100% of the time, but because we have DE and because we are DE chiropractors, we quickly get back on base and we quickly pull ourselves back to center. But one of the things I realized, I think I hadn't seen a new patient for like a week or two, or like a week and a half or something like that. And at that point, then, it's very easy to get into a different kind of mindset. But it's funny, I was reading a couple of things preparing for tonight, and I just pulled out an old note and a copy of something from one of our meetings that we had over the summer. And it was Principle 25, and I'm going to have to read it because I don't know it by heart. I kind of jokingly tell all of my patients, chiropractic has 33 principles. Here they are. No, I usually just jump to number 6, but that no process doesn't take time. But what I love about our principles is that they are life principles. They're life-based. Every single one of our principles applies to the trees outside and the animals that we see. And so Principle number 25 says that the forces of innate never injure or destroy the tissues or environment in which they work. And all I can think about when I read that is God's loving protection for us, for our practice, for our purpose, for our service. And it's just God's loving protection. And really what that boils down to is our desire, which inevitably means of the Father. And so when we're on purpose and when we are serving for the right reasons and have all these wonderful connections that we do, even a little downslip is really ultimately for the growth that's just around the corner. And I can absolutely feel, I can palpate the growth that is coming just around the corner, just from all of these little weeds that I've been plucking the past few weeks, the space I've been making in my garden for the new CA, who starts tomorrow, by the way. I hired what I think might be, I can't believe it, but I mean, the third sentence she said when we were talking was that she has, first of all, she's worked in administration for like 25 years, which I can't wait for, because maybe she'll get things organized in my office, which would be amazing. Get me more on focus so I don't have to think about it, and all I have to do is adjust. I can't wait. I know that's not an ideal or, a total reality, but at least it'll be a little bit easier. But when she said, all I've done is work for other people, and now I want to focus on my own mindfulness, and I want to honor why we were created. And she probably said that like third or fourth sentence in the interview. And the little inner excited cheerleader me was like, you're hired, right? I didn't do that, but I did go through a process, and I had her come into the office and everything, but I really, really felt connected to her. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that goes moving forward. In our offices, just like chiropractic doesn't work with what's wrong with us, it works with what's right with us. In our offices, this innate force is just always working for what is going to move us towards this next new thing. And so that's an exciting thing for me. That's what I've been doing. I've been really working on getting everything ready for her so that she can step in and learn these new things that I've been incorporating in terms of just organizational stuff that I've been working on in the past couple of weeks. The cool thing is, too, I mentioned that I was distracted and that I wasn't focused on everything like I should have been, and hadn't seen anybody new coming in. Gosh, last week, my old CA, that was the first week without her. And the first day I was so lonely. I was looking around. I was in the office by myself. I had a blast, had an absolute blast. It was a wonderful day in practice. And then by the end of the week, I think I had seen like 7 new people. So it was wild. I loved it. It was so fantastic. And it was kind of funny too, because one of the people I saw is just a guy from out of town. I get a lot of people who were in town for a week or two visiting mom down the street or whatever. And so, you see those people and you love having them there and you like giving them a place to come to when they get here. But I knew I wasn't making like full connections. But gosh, by the end of the last day of practice last week, my last person, my last person of the last day came in at like, I don't know, 5:30 or something like that towards the end of the day. And she was just on fire. She'd never seen a chiropractor before. And she just heard that she should come in from somebody she worked with. And we really connected. It was just a really great conversation. And I literally locked the door of my office that day, just praising God for just thank you so much for opening my eyes and my heart and my mind so that I can accept that kind of thing into the office when I thought I was gonna kind of have to rebuild or figure some new things out or be unorganized for a little bit. Turned out to be wonderful. And that's just the way it goes when you're living innately and and practicing faith, which is something, again, that I'm just truly grateful to DE for that. One thing that I talked about with my new patient, she mentioned kids being in the office and that her little boy had fallen. And she tells me a big, long story. To be honest with you, I don't remember what it was. But she said, I never thought about getting him adjusted. And so, whenever I think about little kids and the power of, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds who fall down constantly, and the power that we have as chiropractors to be able to ignite their life and open up their little nervous systems to express life freely, when they do that. And it seems like a small thing to everybody else, but I love that we know how big it is. And I was reminded when I was talking to her about a patient that I'd had a couple of years ago, this little boy named Ethan. His mom was pregnant. No, she had just had the baby a couple days before. And Ethan was like 3 or 4, wild little kid. Every time she brought him in, he was just like all over the office, but super sweet, loved getting adjusted. Like it was great. He would just fly onto the table. And so they live in a little 2-story townhouse. Mom's holding the baby, brand new. Ethan tumbles all the way down the stairs, out, like totally out. And she was definitely what I would call a nervous mom. And so she called EMS and she called her husband and she took little Ethan to the medical university downtown where they tested him and prodded him. Couldn't find anything wrong with him. He was practically unresponsive. He had like very low vitals. And they just sent him home and they said, we're going to have to get you in with a neurologist. You're going to have to come back. We're going to do some testing within a couple of days, right? So she actually ended up somehow finding my number and calling me. I said, okay, well, I didn't have to think twice about it. Where do I need to be and when can I get there? So at the time, I actually had my portable table in the car with me. And I was like, okay, I've got everything I need. I'll just come over. I didn't know what kind of situation I was walking into. So I was like, I brought the table and what a waste. I get there and little Ethan's just laying on the couch, hardly picking up a finger to even say hello, which was completely not him at all. And so I looked at her and I said, oh, I'm just going to adjust him on the couch, right? So, of course, we know what it was. His atlas was very subluxated. And I just kind of held on to him for a little bit. And he wasn't even flinching, like not even moving. And so I was like, here we go. I adjusted him and it was super loud. And he took in the most beautiful breath, just went, and then all of a sudden he raises his little scrawny arms and he goes, you adjusted me. And it was like wild. He jumped up off the couch. He ran around the house. He had like these little wobbly legs, like a newborn baby deer, because he had just been so weak for, 4 hours or whatever. He grabs his drink, he chugs it, and the whole time she's going, oh my gosh, be careful. And it was over that fast. And I told my new patient, I said, it boils down to this. His atlas was subluxated. He could not express life. Let's see if yours is. And her eyes were this big. And she said, I want some of that, whatever it is. And so that's how I ended what I was I don't have bad days at work. I don't have bad weeks at work, but I definitely had a lot of thought processes over the past 3 weeks. And that's how I ended it, with a beautiful new patient that giggled as she got adjusted, was about to walk out, and she said, oh my gosh, can I just hug you? And so it was wonderful to be able to make that connection and to be able to start this week with that much love and that much excitement and knowing all the beautiful things that are coming up ahead, all the growth. And I cannot do anything but thank everyone at DE for being my mentors, for being my friend, for loving me, and for just really keeping a light on a path that I love to follow and love to be a part of. And with that, I think that's what I got for tonight. I love you guys.
Hey, Dawn, that was awesome, girl.
Hi,
thank you
Brian.
so much.
You're welcome.
That was just a beautiful, beautiful message. Just what I needed tonight after a rough day. You really inspired me and lifted my spirits. So thank you so much for being on tonight.
Absolutely.
And if you look on the bottom, we're seeing all kinds of comments about how wonderful you are and everybody who enjoyed your talk. So thank you so much for being on tonight. Truly was my honor to be on here. So thank you, girl. Have a great night.
Thanks a lot. See you soon.
Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
Bye.
We'll see you next Tuesday on the DE Principled Chiro broadcast.